Good morning everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setup for today. So we had a bit of a meltdown yesterday, and basically what we're seeing at the moment is we are below the moving averages on the 8 hour. That constitutes a downward trend for me. I'm not too happy with the way that we bounced up in the beginning of the week above these moving averages and then down. So I'm expecting some kind of structure to form, to sort of another pullback. And the closest area that we have at the moment is a zone of, sorry guys, give me a sec. So I'm looking at this previous swing low here, and that's basically the one area, and the other area is going to be the lowest wick over here. So that is our zone. We'll look at that on the lower time frames. At the moment, oscillators are pointing to the downside, so expecting more to the downside. One thing that is fairly constant here is this trend line. Now bear in mind the noise that's basically in the market at the moment is really around the USA debt ceiling. So what's basically happening is that the Senate needs to vote on the debt ceiling. They need to increase it in order for Biden to spend another $4 trillion. And with the current debt ceiling at, I think it's 27, so currently their debt sits at $27 trillion. It's a massive concern for a lot of people, and it doesn't look like the politicians are going to agree this time around. Normally what happens is, when whoever's in power wants to extend the debt, then the other politicians decide, no, it's a bad idea, they're not interested in it. And so they have a little tussle about it, and then right at the last minute, normally on a weekend or the very last hour of the month, then they sort of agree on it. But yeah, something's different this time around, and it doesn't look like the Republicans are going to agree on it. So that could cause a little bit of havoc in the markets. We've got the chaos in China as well. And that's pretty serious at the moment. There's a coal shortage, so obviously goods aren't getting manufactured, or getting manufactured at a slower rate. So we've already got shortages of a number of goods out there. And there's container ships just sitting on the sea at the moment waiting to get into ports. There's a whole lot of chaos happening. And the only one that really benefits here is the banks, and there's a lot of financial institutions and banks making up the Dow Jones. So that's probably why the meltdown not as bad as it has been on the S&P and the Nasdaq at the moment. But anyway, macro politics at play. So we just need to, or macro politics and economics at play. So we just need to be patient and wait for our opportunities. So at the moment, we did have a bit of a bounce off this sort of double bottom structure, which is to be expected. The one thing that is really concerning me, and I'll just show you now. So 61.8 didn't really work out, but the 76.4 area, that definitely was tagged. So that is a move down, that is a move up. It is forming a bit of a flag. So another breakdown is going to get us moving. It's really going to get us moving. So I just do that, and you'll get the picture. So there's the flag at the moment. So move down, flag. So a break below the low of yesterday is going to get this thing moving, and I would assume another leg down of equal proportion of what it's been down already. So pay attention to that. Right, so looking at the 3 hour, you can see strong move on the 3 hour, back below all the moving averages. Look at our oscillator, not really agreeing with the concept of us falling more, but basically saying we should be looking for a level and looking for it to come up. It has found a level. It has sort of been reluctantly bouncing around. There are gaps at the moment down here. So I would expect us to sort of amble a bit, wait for Europe to open, and then I expect us to come back and test and close these gaps. The test is going to be interesting, because if it breaks through the structure, it is going to fall further. There's no two ways about that. That's not really a decent structure there. You can see we had some buyers come in, and then immediately the sellers drove it back down again. Asia is a bit confused at the moment, all over the place. But look at the moving averages, also crossed over quite nicely yesterday. So we're looking for retest of structure for another move to the downside, and anticipating this I keep those in. I want them. And there's two ways of looking at this. That was the first sort of trend line, so it's the first fractal, second fractal, so well, I suppose not really, there's a first and second one, but that's the next one in line. And have a look at what's going on. We basically have broken, it looks like it's retesting there. Now if I just move up to the other fractals, so that one's pointless, but this one here is worth paying attention to, because look, we broke below it, trended it above it, trended it above it, and then you see a bit of a retest and then sideways. So the next one is pretty much that one, and similar scenario, so trending sideways. So is it trending? It looks like it's trending along that trend line. Look at the oscillators. I suspect we're just gathering ourselves for another push down. So probably well worth taking small shorts around 34, 5, 6, 8, and I say small because you're going to end up with a 313 point stop loss. You need to be above the swing high here as your stop loss, and don't expect it just to start falling, because make sure you can afford to lose that stop, but it could come up a little bit higher as well, could come and test this area. It's just there's so much structure here, it's just you could pick any one of those levels there. So yeah, pay attention to it. I think it's worth watching on the 15-minute. I suspect you are going to get some kind of a move to the downside. It's basically it's written in the charts at the moment. So that's what I would expecting, another leg down. So for me personally, I'm not too keen on shorting the US markets. Somebody could just could basically just open their mouth and promise the world or something will happen out of one of the politicians, and it could reverse on a dime. So for me at the moment, it's not looking pretty. Definitely don't want to be long here. So may play with it, may not play with it, but my gut is just telling me just stay away from it. End of month, end of quarter as well. So if I change my mind, I'll let you know in the Telegram channel. But at the moment, I think I'm going to sit on the sides and wait for the end of the month to finish. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you later on. Cheers for now.